So, hello everyone. Let me scoot this down somewhat. Sorry about that. Now, today, tonight for me, but for tomorrow's radio, so I'll just go here everything. We're gonna be talking about how about this whole inclusion thing. You know how people say that we're inclusive about anyone and everything, or just for examples. A lot of them are really not that inclusive. And the BS that they try to pull on you. That's what's hard to hear from me right now. I'm burning the hell up. Like, you know how people say that social medias or whatever, that their platforms or companies are inclusive? They're not really that inclusive. You know, we all know this shit. They're like, oh, I'm inclusive for, what's it called? For what's it called? Like saying, "Oh yeah, I got to. I'm inclusive for the LGBTQI." They said they're inclusive, but um, they're not really that inclusive. Actually, it's kind of sad. And you think, "Oh, but you think they would be?" No, they're not. And it is like when you hear, "Oh, inclusion is what's it called?" Including everyone, no matter what how they think, or well, mostly it's being inclusive would mean like including everyone, everything, no matter the differences and views on points. So, but that's really it though. It's just bullshit that they're pulling. You're like, that made no sense though. Why? And I normally say, don't listen to people who say that. Oh, we're inclusive. They will lie to you about that shit. And normally they will. They were like, "Oh yeah, I'm inclusive for people who fit my narrative, and if you don't agree with my narrative, then even if you're part of that group, let's say that if you're trans and you go to the trans community and you don't think like them properly of how we need to force this stuff on kids, right? Um, they're gonna say that they're gonna say that you're not included into our group or whatever you want to say it was, right? And you're like, but you said you're inclusive, and they're going to tell you, no, go fuck yourself, or endgame yourself. And then they go call you a transphobe, and you're like, what? I'm the same as you though. And let's talk about the whole black community, right? And that's like make a racist joke right there if I want to, but I can. But I'm trying to hold myself back from saying it. Too often than not, I always do. The whole black community is. I mean, there's some of them who are very nice to you. They're gonna talk to you. Other than that, a lot of them are just plain up assholes, and they're like, "Oh, we don't accept anyone who does not fit our agenda." And so it's a agenda thing that you don't, you may look like me, right? It's like they will see you for your skin color or your identity, or you got pronouns and they're gonna see you as that. Other than that, they won't see you. And I think that the whole thing of these platforms or social medias having these specific groups meant for other things, this shows that they're just going to exclude you if you don't think like them. And I think that is very disgusting in a way that if you want to be more inclusive, and look, arguing in a discussion makes sense. Not everyone would think like, oh, this and that is going to be the same, but in reality, it will be. Some of that will not differ. Like some of y'all may think like. Some of y'all may think that idea may be good, but it won't work for the long term. Whatever you're discussing may not work very well. So how do you figure that out? You really couldn't, even if you think about it. And I will say that like I said, the whole inclusion thing is just BS. They're not your friends. They're really not your friends. They're just random people you just meet because you just because they're like you. But guess what? If you're friends, yeah, I want to vomit. Ugh, God, I want to vomit something yesterday night. It felt fucking awful. Yeah. I mean, it's in my mouth at least. I put a dick in my mouth. And the whole thing of I don't write scripts for my videos, so sorry about this. This is how bad it is. I don't remember writing a script for my fucking vids. I think that the whole thing, like I said, it's bullshit when it comes to it. And you're like, what the fuck is that on my foot? Like something's on my foot for sure. If I'm writing stuff down, sorry, I gotta write stuff down for the because mostly right now I'm taking like I gotta take a note or whatever. Like I write down like certain dates of who's getting paid, who's getting not. So sorry, I'm not like paying attention for the camera fully, and I'm just speaking it. Uh, it's part of my job now, but yeah, it's either anything else. If I wasn't here, I would not remember a fucking thing. And the whole thing about this stuff, it's just like not the best to deal with because uh, inclusion means everything, like I said, but sadly, it's not a thing nowadays. People are not included because of their skin color, because of how they think. And if you don't agree with them, then they call you. Uh, they're gonna call you the opposite thing that you did not like or something. If I am right about the statement, where they're going to say, "Oh, you." I'm just gonna use for example. If you're like for the BLM riots or the BLM in general, I talked about it before, but I might talk about it again because it'd be easier too. And um, basically, and if you're like the writing is bad, we should stop that. Then they could call you anti BLM or anti Blackish. Um, uh, you're for blue lives. You're alt right. You're a Nazi lover. They're gonna call out other things, even if you're black. If you don't agree with them, which I think it's the sad truth of reality is that no one is happy, especially people on the left or leftists or woke weirdos. Even game journalists, they're never happy about anything. You give them a new game, yeah, they play it, and some of them are just going to a rant saying, "Oh, I gotta pay for a mortgage," and I'm like, "What the fuck, guys? You're talking about a game, and I pay your mortgage." Like now, I'm just not like. That's why I just can't understand some of the stuff that game journalists do, and are people on the left or woke people about pronouns. They want to force pronouns onto people on own people, and our people are like I don't care about that shit. It's just like no one does, and yet again, people are tired of it, and we need to fight back against that shit because we have to. And I think that's needed because guess what? Society is not getting better if the way that people keep forcing their narratives on others, then why we need free speech. And I am an advocate of free speech. You can say racist shit, say racist shit. I don't care at that point. But it gotta be, it's gotta be the consequence of your actions. If you see something racism, guess what? It's kind of on you for saying that. Don't blame the person next to you. Don't blame the person behind you. Blame yourself and take accountability for it. But if you can't do that, then don't do it. But that's it. I just can't understand this whole point of oh you got to be this and that and whatnot. So in reality, people are just tired of it. If you are too, then you know how it already. So honestly, sorry for the whole rant video again. Just like I'm just like uh, low on ideas right now. So yeah. Like, subscribe, do you need to? I am out, y'all. Peace.